back to the channel. My name's Brian Kingsbury. Today we're going to do another Where Are They Now article. This one is brought to us by yardbarker.com. This one's a little different. We're going to look at 20 artists who topped the charts in the year 2000. For those from the 1900s know all too well how futuristic the year 2000 sounded. So much so that there were a huge fear that once the world entered it, there'd be this technology revolt, aka Y2K. However, all the year 2000 brought to the world were parody movies, reality TV, and a cascade of hit songs by artists people thought would be iconic forever. While some managed to be, others have taken a step back from the limelight. With that, let's look at the artists who topped the charts in 2000 and where they are now. First artist on the list is Santana. Carlos Santana played at the original Woodstock in 1969, so for him to come back and have a major hit in 1999 was a huge deal. He was everywhere that year with the hit single Smooth featuring Matchbox 20's Rob Thomas. So why talk about him as a 2000s heavy hitter? Because Smooth was so big, it was number 2 when it came to Billboard's year-end Hot 100 singles chart for that year. Today, Carlos Santana is still making music and touring based more on his legacy than hits, as none of these releases since 1999 have been as massive. Next artist on the list is Rob Thomas. Rob Thomas made his stamp on music with Matchbox 20 in the 90s, adult contemporary meets rock scene. But in 1999, he teamed up with Carlos Santana for Smooth, which sent him to new levels. Since then, Rob's branched out on his own while still maintaining Matchbox 20 with the band's last album, Where the Light Goes, dropping in 2023. Next artist on the list is Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson sang It Doesn't Really Matter for the Nutty Professor 2, the Klumps soundtrack, and it later appeared in 2001's All For You. Jackson continued both in music and in film, and as of late joined the likes of Celine Dion and Adele with her own Las Vegas residency. Next artist on the list is Savage Garden. It's hard to find music like what Savage Garden brought to the table in today's world, that sweet, sincere adult contemporary music like their 2000 hit I Knew I Loved You, a song meant for prom season. Savage Garden was all over the radio then, but the pair split in 2001 with vocalist Darren Hayes continuing on a solo path. Next artist on the list is Pink. Today, Pink makes music that one might consider for a fun, inspirational carpool sing-along, as what she does is pinnacle top 20 and proves to be lucrative as she continues to tour with her Cirque du Soleil-esque performances. Back in the year 2000, though, she was topping the charts with more of a hip-hop flair with tracks like There You Go. Next artist on the list is Joe. Anyone alive in the year 2000 will instantly start singing I Wanna Know by Joe if those 3 words are mentioned anywhere within earshot of them, because back then that was the song on everyone's mind, played around the clock. I Wanna Know was the espresso of its time. Since then, Joe has dropped 10 albums, including 2016's My Name is Joe Thomas, and continued to tour. Next artist on the list is Lone Star. Lone Star has made their presence known in the country music scene when they debuted in the mid-90s, but had their mainstream crossover success at the end of the decade with Amazed. By 2000, it was in the top 10 on Billboard's year-end chart. Lone Star has had some lineup shakeups, but that hasn't stopped the country band. They're still making music and touring. Next artist on the list is Destiny's Child. Say My Name was just one of the many songs from Destiny's Childs that dominated the tail end of the 90s and the start of the 21st century. Then the group ceased to exist a couple of years after their 2004 release, A Destiny Fulfilled, which that album, the title, sent a message now, didn't it? Fans of the group couldn't stay sad for long, though, as each child of Destiny has gone on to do just fine. Michelle Williams went to Broadway. Kelly Rowland was also acted and released solo work, and as for Beyonce, she's managed to do a little something since then. World domination. Next artist on the list is Marc Anthony. In 1999, there was what people called the Latin invasion in music, with the likes of Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez, and Enrique Iglesias. There was also Marc Anthony with the MTV staple I Need to Know. Of course, in the years that followed his biggest hit on the charts, Anthony married Jennifer Lopez, divorced Jennifer Lopez, and all the while releasing almost a dozen records. Next artist on the list is Madonna. Madonna is an artist who has reinvented herself with each new decade since her career kicked off in the 80s. In the 2000s, she went all in with the music. To millennials, this would always conjure up versions of Madonna in all white and a cowboy hat, doing the absolute most in the black back of a limo via the video that played around the clock on both MTV and VH1. Of course, Madonna has not gone anywhere since then. She went on a massive world tour in 2024 with a stop in South America that garnered over 1.5 million attendees. Next artist on the list is Three Doors Down. When it comes to Superman, there is Christopher Reeve and Three Doors Down, thanks to the massive 2000 single Kryptonite. Some might think that they went on to be a one-hit wonder, but the Mississippi band had a few other major showings on the charts through the rest of the early thousands. All that they has led to the band to continue to relish with the dad rock scene, touring with others that reside in that realm like Creed. Next artist on the list is Sisqó. Would a song like A Thong Song manage to go anywhere in the year 2025? It's hard to tell. Perhaps it'd be a quick hit via TikTok, but alas, that may be where it started and ended. Not 25 years ago, though, Sisqó rose to fame with Dru Hill and later found his own success as a solo artist. While he shined the brightest then, he's managed to keep his name out there by touring and releasing music, as well as appearing on reality shows like The Masked Singer. Next artist on the list is Christina Aguilera. By the year 2000, Christina Aguilera was already a household name and a Grammy winner. With time, she's added more awards to her name, released more music, cemented herself as a pop diva icon, coached on The Voice, and introduced herself to a new generation by working alongside Sabrina Carpenter. Next artist on the list is Vertical Horizon. Vertical Horizon owned the radio with Everything You Want, but has since laid low. The band announced in 2024 that the new music was on the way, though. Next artist on the list is Toni Braxton. Back in the day, Toni Braxton would release a banger every so often, and in the instance, it was He Wasn't a Man Enough in February of 2000. Braxton's music never stopped coming, and she also made a splash on the small scene in TV movies, reality TV, on both The Masked Singer and Braxton Family Values, as well as on the hit CBS sitcom The Neighborhood. Next artist on the list is Brian McKnight. Brian McKnight got numerical for his hit 2000 hit Back at One. A staple in music, McKnight has never gone far. Although he hasn't had any chart toppers in a minute, he is still working on his own music and behind the scenes with other artists as a producer. Next artist on the list is Creed. Creed took the world higher, and then the world turned its back on the Florida rock band as they went from number one to a sort of a joke overnight. The band even parted ways in 2004 after a decade together, only to reunite in 2009 before calling it quits again after a few more years. However, thanks to a resurgence in popularity, the band got back together in 2023 to ride out the newfound love people had for them. Next artist on the list is Faith Hill. Thanks to artists like Garth Brooks and Shania Twain, mainstream radio started to open its doors to country artists with a bit more pop to their sound, and no one took more advantage of that opening than Faith Hill. Breathe was the number one song on Billboard's year-end chart for 2000 and was far from her last hit on the charts. Faith remained a constant in music since, but in recent years she hasn't been as active, but still manages to make a scene when she steps out, as she is a bona fide legend. Next artist on the list is NSYNC. NSYNC is forever a pop culture phenomenon due to being a part of why boy bands were everything and everywhere at the turn of the century. Despite the group parting ways after 2000's Celebrity, they've managed to keep fans on the edge of their seats, hoping for a reunion one day. In 2018, they came together to receive a star on the Walk of Fame, as well as in 2023 to promote a song for Trolls Band Together. A year later, they performed together at an LA show of Justin Timberlake's, but an incident pretty much tanked Timberlake's world tour, and word of an official NSYNC reunion, residency, or album became sort of mute. Finally, the last artist on the list is Mya. When one thinks back to the 2000s, Mya is definitely one of the artists that comes to mind. She had a handful of staples, including Case of the X, What You Gonna Do. Mya has since remained in music, releasing half a dozen albums and opening up for Escape and SWV on 2024's Queens of R&B tour. So there you have it. That completes another successful Brian Reads the News segment where we answer the question, where are they now? 20 artists who topped the charts in 2000. Of course, this one's coming to us from yardbarker.com. You can go up there to yardbarker.com if you want to check it out in more detail. And if you like these Where Are They Now videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here's a look at my channel. I'm real easy to find on YouTube. Just my name, Brian Kingsbury. We're currently sitting at 1,000 subscribers with 4.2 thousand videos online. A lot of those are these Where Are They Now type videos. People seem to like watching these, so I keep putting them out there and you guys keep watching it. And if you could do me a big favor and give this video a big thumbs up on your way out, I'd really appreciate it. Once again, I'm Brian Kingsbury. Don't forget to hit that subscription button, ring that notification bell, and plan to make these videos a regular part of your day. Thanks again for watching this one. We'll see you on the next. Bye.